Alright guys, I'm back. We are going to go into the next game, which is going to be Blake against Freedom. So here, let's get started. So this is going to be interesting. It looks like Freedom is planning to play Terran against Protoss this game. It's an interesting choice, but Terran is probably his second best race for Freedom, so will be interesting to see. I'm a little bit curious why the change, but I don't know. I'll have to ask him later. So this game's going to be on Habitation Station. Blake is leading the tournament right now. He's actually considered the underdog, least likely player, and he is 2-0 at this point. So really just shocking the world and kicking some butt. So over here in the left, in the orange, we have our Terran player, Freedom. And over here on the right, we have our green Protoss, Blake. So I'm solo casting this match, so it's going to be a little bit more challenging for me. I'm going to have to think up all of the content without someone to bounce off of. So it's really tough to call at this point what to expect. You know, I have played Freedom quite a bit as a Protoss player, but only with him playing Zerg. And I have not played with Blake myself. So we're just going to have to watch and see what they do. There is a early scout coming out from Blake, basically right after he got through his pylon down. So standard 9 scout. There isn't anything suspect so far from Freedom. Looks like a pretty normal, pretty standard opener, which honestly is what we want to see. I mean, cheese games are exciting and all, but they tend to be too short. So I'm gonna, little, worker harassment. They're really just hanging out. They're having fun. They're high-fiving. Ooh, he actually probably would have picked off that SCV, which SCVs are actually the strongest worker in the game. And it's more than double the health, and even when you factor in shields, it still winds up more health. So a SCV should always take a probe in a fight, unless the probe is unless the probe hits first and the SCV isn't paying attention. Sorry, just checking on the stream. Had some folks complaining that it was not working right, but it is. Standard wall off. Freedom left a supply depot down, so the probe got in. So far, completely standard build from Terran. Nothing out of the ordinary. I'm assuming that, Freedom's going to go Reaper. This is pretty much what 100% of Terrans do at this point. Get that gas, get that Reaper opening. You can do some scouting, and if Blake doesn't get his Mothership Core out early, he's just going to lose a lot of stuff. Interesting building placement from Blake. I kind of like it. Top of the ramp's pretty vulnerable to low ground units, but these are fairly safe. Reaper picked off the SCV, already a win for Freedom. Though that did buy some time, so by the time this Reaper gets over there, the Stalker will be out and defend it. But Freedom is taking the opportunity to get his expansion down. Blake is not. I personally, PvT, I tend to favor the 1-gate expand, but this is at the very least a 2-gate. I mean, he's gone double gas. Wow, man, that's 2 probes. I'm surprised he scouted again when he knew a Reaper was out. And this is just going to get pushed back. Maybe? He's going to lose this. Unless he gets incredibly lucky, yeah. I'm surprised he didn't just jump it right back out when he saw the Stalker. But in any event, Freedom is in pretty good shape. He's behind in supply because Blake has been pumping out those workers. And Freedom has not. Factory completed. Barracks, second barracks going down, second gas going down. The expansion here is going to make up for the worker advantage pretty rapidly. Bunkers going down for extra safety and security. Hopefully get there in time to actually stop this stalker from just killing stuff. Alright, cool. Couple of Marines out. So it'll be fine. It's shaping up pretty standard. Robo just about finished up for Blake. So 3-gate Robo on one base. Interesting play. Getting that Warp Prism out. I wonder if he's going to go Warp Prism up here with a couple of sentries, force field the ramp off, warp in units, do lots of damage. It's really common against Zerg. Don't really see it that much against Terran. But it could still be pretty effective. Taking an expansion of his own. Freedom has gotten his starport out, getting his medevacs. He's got a couple of Widow Mines. All great, wonderful, and beautiful stuff. And you can see that supply difference just evened itself right on out pretty quickly there. Now that he's got double production, and plus he's got the extra income from mules. Tech Lab going down. Presumably get Stim, Combat Shield, all of the standard Terran things. Protoss Buddy is interesting. Single Zealot in the Warp Prism. Their drops are passing each other. It's really just straight up Zealot harass. Which, actually, this could be pretty good. These Stalkers should push this off. And he's going to get his own drop with nothing. Now, you know, this... some patrol probably would have been a good call there. But these Zealots are potentially going to do a ton of damage. Oh man, I don't know what Freedom's doing. He could have dropped, there's no detection here, he could have dropped his Widow Mines and done just ridiculous damage. But over here, the Zealots, man, the main, all of the workers have left. The SC, or the Marines are coming out just now to finally try to clean this up. That's a lot of lost mining time for Freedom. You might lose another worker. Yeah, that's I mean, that's pretty big at this stage of the game. Now, the Widow Mine here, brilliant. Clearly it's gotten at least one kill. It's going to move around some other Widow Mines. It's just going to mine bases. It's great. And, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. He is ready and waiting to push back the Warp Prism to prevent any further drop shenaniganry. This is going to get cleaned up. Only one kill. Not the most effective Widow Mine ever, but again, prevented mining for a while. Helped make up for the horror that happened up at the main base. Helped, didn't quite equalize though. And Blake at this point has a pretty large supply lead that Freedom's really going to have to make up for. Doing the good old starport swap, probably going to go double medevac production. Pretty standard play. We've got Colossus Tech and Twilight Archives, or Twilight Council, going down for Blake. Awesome, you can get Colossus out. And you can switch to, or you can tech up to either High Templar or Dark Templar, both of which are awesome. So at this point, I mean, the game is kind of even. I'd probably give a slight advantage at this point to Blake. Freedom's supply blocked. It hasn't realized it yet because he has new depots under construction. And Blake is ahead in supply as well. Freedom needs to catch on to this pretty quickly or he's going to be in a lot of trouble. You can't afford to be supply blocked for such a long period of time. But good upgrades coming, combat shields coming, concussive shells coming, +1s coming, you know, throwing down the good old missile turrets for detection. But at the same time, you know, extended thermal lances coming out. Blake is also supply blocked, but he's at least noticed and is going to fix it soon. I'm not sure. So Freedom is taking a third and finally building his supply depots. This push feels really dangerous to me. Thankfully, it looks like he is pulling back. And there is a Nexus getting built here. So he is going to have another opportunity to kill quite a few workers. If he gets lucky. It's actually pretty similar third base timings. This is not what you want as the Terran. You want to be ahead in bases if you can. There we go. There's the fourth base getting thrown down. Missile turret for prevention of drops, which is great. Double forge for the upgrades for Protoss. Beautiful. I love it. I do wish that he would throw down either his Templar Archives or his Dark Shrine. This drop is going to get scouted as it flies right by the Warp Prism. Yeah, he knows this is coming. Hopefully Freedom was paying attention and won't try to push it. But unfortunately it looks like he is going to push it, which is bad right into those Stalkers when he just gets away. I like this, using the single Marine to harass. Not going to really do any damage, but it will potentially distract from the existence of the Widow Mine. Meanwhile, this base is finished. Scan going down here. He sees Colossus. He knows the tech choice. And Blake is supply blocked again, and I don't think he's noticed it yet. There we go. He's just now throwing down that pylon to get unblocked. And you know, those little blocks and things like that give Freedom all of the opportunity that he needs to try to get himself back in it, especially with this Ninja 4th base coming up here at the gold. Which is going to be huge amounts of income coming in for Freedom. This will finance pretty much whatever he wants to do in the short term. I would not be surprised to see a flood of barracks and other unit-producing structures come out. There is the Dark Shrine. Excellent. Planetary Fortress coming down for Freedom, as well as the Armory, and a second starport. That's not super clear what composition he's going for. I mean, this looks kind of, I mean, obviously it's bio at this point, but if you're getting the factory with the Armory, he is definitely being prepared for a tech switch, either to high sky upgrades or to go ground and go mech. Upgrade lead goes to our Protoss player for the moment, but who knows how long that's going to last. But 2-2 is coming, whereas 1-1 is just finishing up for the Terran. He has seen... I'm guessing he's seen this base. Has he seen this base? No, he has not actually seen this 4th base that's going down for Blake yet, so he needs to watch out for this and this counter push. Now hopefully Freedom has learned his lesson and isn't just going to try to base trade, because he does not want to lose that base. Oh no, this could be devastating if he warps in a Dark Templar. That's a lot of Dark Templar. He has no detection over here. He should scan and just send a couple of units up there to deal with this. He might lose the starport though. He should lift it off. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't, and he really needs to scan. There he goes. But there's a big push coming at the front. So it looks like we're back into base trade territory again. Carl seems to be a big fan of this. I mean, he's got a reasonable force up at the top. He can probably hold this ramp for a little while. But he is doing, you know, he's taken out the natural. He's got a guy at the 3rd. He's going to push up into the main. And at the end of the day, Freedom is a Terran player, right? He can lift off his buildings and go hide. I'm surprised he isn't lifting his wall. He's just going to let him walk right in. Yeah. Alright, well, I mean, at this point, he's not paying very much attention. He's letting his Vikings get sniped, which is really the last thing he wants. And he's abandoned his base trade. He's pulling back to try to defend. He has a reasonable army here. I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't move forward. Because he's losing just a ton of his production. Yeah, and he's force fielded off. He's not lifting any of his buildings. What is Freedom doing? He has to decide. He either has to decide he's going for it, and push in, or just accept that he's gonna lose stuff. But now that these forces come in, he's sandwiching this off. I think Freedom is actually, well, despite being behind in supply, I think he is ahead. He's got the gold, he's got this base, he's got this base. He's not mining from like any of them, but Blake is not mining from anything. I mean, he's long distance mining and that's it. And Freedom has enough orbitals that he can just pull down as much as he wants. He should be building stuff out of his barracks and try to rebuild infrastructure as much as he can. He has a ton of money built up. Yeah, so as our observers are pointing out, he could just flood production structures at this point and pretty much win the game. But I mean, it's one of those things. You don't always know how ahead you are. Thankfully this planetary fortress, if he's quick and repairs. No, he's not going to repair. Alright, well, there he goes. Planetary fortresses are really strong. I mean, he held that off pretty well, and he took out this base here. So he is in a much better position economically. Again, at this point, I mean, he's going to have 3-3, so he is ahead upgrade-wise, but I don't know that 3-3 is enough against, income versus no income. He should really do something with his command center that's floating around, maybe retake his natural, or take another base. He is starting to build additional barracks, which is great, but he's paranoid about another counterattack, and he's keeping a lot of forces back in his main. He's really going to kick himself for not landing this and turning it into an orbital or another planetary or something so that he can flood down additional mules. That's a lot of income that's being lost. He doesn't want to engage this army. Oh, this could actually be really bad. He needs to get out of there. He doesn't have enough army to afford to lose these. Oh, that was a great little juke. He just needs to get home. These forces running down from here, maybe if he gets the timing right. But I think he may have taken too much damage, and he didn't control all of his army correctly. He got really split up there. This could be really bad. I mean, Freedom has the money, he's got the income, but he doesn't have a lot of production. He's gonna lose another base. I mean, the supply lead is just decidedly in Blake's favor, the upgrade lead still. He is starting to catch up, he was getting 3-2. But, these are 3-3. Ooh, he's seen that base. I'm not sure why he didn't go for it. I do like that he's stealing his gold, though. I think that's amazing. I think Freedom's gonna try to just push, and this is a mistake. He's gonna get his army trapped. I mean, I know he's trying to snipe this base, which he's gonna succeed in doing, but he's gonna lose his whole army. I'm not sure what the right choice is here for him. I mean, he can't get out. He's hemorrhaging army. I mean, again, what good are all of these bases against this army? He doesn't have any units. Now he's just gonna lose this gold. I mean, at least he's getting some damage output from it, but he's losing that gold, he's losing those resources, and Blake is double expanding. And the gold here is basically mined out. And I don't think this is enough army. He's just going to lose this gold as well. And after that, once he loses this base, I think the game is pretty much just over. Unfortunately, Freedom didn't take advantage of the massive economic lead he had to throw down a ton of production and bolster his army. And I think that's shortly going to cost him the game. And it's just way too much supply. I mean, his upgrades are at least nearly even. But the income rate is, basically evened up now. 15 harvesters to 38 is, well, not great for either player, but it's especially not great for the Terran. And he's trying to be sneaky and keep dropping. I can't blame him for doing it. I mean, it's a desperation move, but I don't know that's going to pay off for him. The double expanding, it's not really going to be great because he's going to see all of that. And I mean, he can just photon overcharge if he's paying attention. This actually is going really well. This bottleneck, I mean, he just lost both of his Colossus. That was actually a great battle for Freedom. Holy cow, look at that. Really evened up the supply, and Blake hasn't used his photon overcharge. There it goes. That actually, yeah, even this drop, like, it just went really, really well for Blake. Hopefully he just either hops in these medevacs and gets out of there. Boosts away, yep. Really, that was just the right choice to make. Alright, well, a re-update of my assessment again, because this game is all over the place. At this point, I might swing it back in favor of Freedom. He has more production facilities. Supply's pretty close to even, slight upgrade edge to Blake, but mules are really, really good. These aren't orbitals. He needs desperately to make these orbitals. Really desperately, but like, it's not, he's not in such a terrible position at this point. If he drops this mineral line and just does a ton of damage, but he's not, what's he going for? Oh, is he still trying to snipe this Nexus? Could be an interesting play. He really needs to focus on controlling these. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's a bad decision just because he wasn't gonna snipe that. He needs to watch out for this base. This is a tough fight. And the medevacs here, he needs those medevacs to get down there as fast as possible. He needs to get unsupply blocked as fast as possible. He cannot afford that. That positioning is fantastic using the minerals. But man, like, if he was dropping this right now, it would be devastating. And instead he's picking off largely useless buildings. Oh no, these DTs. Thankfully there is some detection here. But I mean, this is kind of crazy. Oh no, he's gonna lose the space of this counterattack. And I mean, there's a photon overcharge here, so I mean, the plus side is, if he's paying attention, oh, don't lose that, oh no! He cannot afford to lose that medevac. Alright, well, again, you know, Blake is, resecuring himself the lead. I mean, I like this command center, again, the gold is good, sticking on the other side of the map. If he was really, really fast and could get down here and could just blow that base up and snipe it, it would help him a lot. He really needs to be using these idle workers, get them mining, get them building some supply depots, do something. But he needs to watch out. I don't know how much he wants to engage this army. Marauders are really, really good against Stalkers, but not sure if they're good enough. I mean, this feels kind of like a desperation play. I like depowering all those buildings. Yeah, I mean, he got the snipe on the Nexus, which is good, but this is gonna be it, and I don't know that I'd be trying this micro. You can't afford to lose these units. I don't think that was a good call. Especially since the Stalkers are so fast, and he didn't pick off enough of them. And this is, again, really, really risky. If he had been target firing like the moment... Oh, he's just going to lose all of his army. Yeah, that was ugly. I mean, huge lead of 30 to 84. This is... Blake can basically A-move. I mean, there's no army to speak of from Freedom. You know, this gold base is great, but he's not building stuff. A Raven is not going to help him at this point. You know, these SCVs should really, you know, get them mining. He needs that income. He can't afford it. And this is going to be the last stand. I don't understand what that was. I mean, the units are just getting sniped as they come out. Yeah, just expanding everywhere. I mean, this is Blake's game. At this point, it's just waiting on Freedom to GG on out. That was crazy. I think this is another pretty big upset for Blake, who was the underdog in the tournament. And I mean, Freedom is one of the highest ranked players in the whole league, and Blake has taken him down. Well done for Blake. I'm not really sure what the big mistake there was. I think Freedom's really trying for those base trades when he shouldn't and can't get the best possible trade, and a little occasional indecisiveness, and it's just coming in and unfortunately biting him and costing him the win. And Blake played that really, really well. A couple of mistakes here and there, but that was solid play, and I hope we continue to see some amazing stuff from him, our underdog player who's just surprising everybody and kicking some butt. That's it for me. It was great being here and casting for all of you guys, and I'll hopefully see you all again in the future. Thanks so much.